Have you ever wondered why belts that once defined your waist now seem to emphasize everything you'd rather not highlight? The truth is, belts after 50 require a completely different approach than they did at 30. But when you understand the secrets of where, how, and when to wear them, a statement belt becomes your most elegant tool for creating polish and proportion. And once you master this, you'll discover that defining your silhouette has nothing to do with cinching and everything to do with intention. There's a quiet moment of hesitation that happens when women over 50 reach for a belt. You remember a time when belting your waist felt empowering, when that defined middle made you feel polished and put together. But now, that same belt creates a line exactly where your body has softened, where you'd prefer not to draw attention. And slowly, belts retreat to the back of your drawer, unused and abandoned. But here's what changed. It's not that belts stopped working. It's that the way you wear them needs translation. Your body found new proportions, new comfort, new grace. And the belts that serve you now aren't about creating a waist where nature no longer holds one. They're about adding sophistication, structure, and visual interest in ways that honor exactly who you've become. Today, I'm revealing how to wear statement belts with confidence and elegance after 50, from choosing the right width and placement to understanding which outfits benefit from belting and which ones are more beautiful without. These aren't rigid rules. This is wisdom about proportion, balance, and the art of using belts as sophisticated accents rather than waist definers. So if you've been avoiding belts or wearing them out of habit rather than intention, this is your guide to making them work beautifully again. Let's discover how statement belts can become your secret weapon for sleek, polished elegance. First secret: width changes everything. Here's what transforms a belt from unflattering to elegant after 50. Width matters more than you might imagine. Those wide statement belts that cinch at the natural waist. They can emphasize thickness and create horizontal bulk precisely where most women want ease. But medium-width belts, somewhere between 1 and 2 inches, create definition without demanding attention to your midsection. And slim belts, worn with intention, add a refined detail that suggests structure without creating it. The key is understanding that after 50, belts shouldn't scream for attention. They should whisper sophistication. A medium-width leather belt in cognac over a cream dress creates elegant definition. A slim chain belt worn low on the hips over a tunic and trousers adds subtle polish. When you choose width intentionally based on your outfit and body, belts stop feeling like something you're supposed to wear and start feeling like a tool for creating proportion. Second secret: placement is more important than definition. This changes everything about belting after 50. The goal is no longer to define your natural waist. Instead, place your belt where it creates the most elegant proportion for your outfit. Sometimes that's slightly above your natural waist, creating a higher focal point that elongates your legs. Sometimes it's at your low hip, creating a dropped waistline that suggests ease rather than constriction. And sometimes, most often, actually it's not at your waist at all, but worn as a detail over cardigans, at the smallest part of a dress, or loosely draped to add visual interest. Try this. A slim belt worn over a long cardigan at your natural waist, but loose enough that it suggests shape without creating it. Or a statement belt at your low hip over a flowing tunic and slim pants. The belt isn't cinching. It's creating a visual punctuation mark that adds sophistication to the silhouette. This is how elegant women wear belts after 50, with placement that serves proportion rather than fighting against comfort. Third secret: belt over layers, not directly on skin. Here's a styling secret that makes belts infinitely more wearable after 50. Wear them over layers, rather than directly against your body. A belt over a cardigan creates structure without touching your midsection. A belt over a blazer or long vest adds definition to flowing layers. Even a belt over a dress works better when there's enough fabric weight that you're not creating tightness against your actual waist. This approach does several things simultaneously. It adds visual interest and breaks up long vertical lines. It creates the suggestion of a waist without demanding your body conform to it, and it allows you to adjust or remove the belt as needed without disrupting your entire outfit. Try a cognac belt, worn loosely over a cream long-line cardigan with ivory trousers. The belt adds warmth and definition to the neutral palette, but you're not constricting anything. You're simply adding a sophisticated layer of polish that can be adjusted or removed entirely. Fourth secret, choose belts that match your hardware. This subtle detail creates cohesion and sophistication. Match your belt hardware to your other accessories. If you wear gold jewelry, choose belts with gold buckles. If you prefer silver, select silver hardware. If you love rose gold or brass, coordinate your belt accordingly. This creates visual harmony that makes your outfit look curated rather than random. A gold buckle belt with gold earrings and a gold watch creates intentional elegance. A silver buckle belt with silver jewelry suggests thoughtful coordination. When your metals match, people don't consciously notice the belt, they simply register that you look polished and put together. This is the kind of subtle sophistication that separates women who understand style from those who are simply dressed. It's not about expensive pieces or designer labels. It's about coherence, coordination, and the kind of attention to detail that creates quiet luxury. Fifth secret, texture adds interest without volume. After 50, the most elegant statement belts aren't always about bold buckles or bright colors. Often they're about beautiful texture that creates visual interest without adding bulk. A woven leather belt in cognac that catches the light. A suede belt in soft grey with subtle stitching. A chain link belt in burnished gold that moves when you move. Even a simple leather belt with interesting perforation or embossing. These textured belts add sophistication and personality without shouting for attention. They work with your neutral wardrobe as sophisticated accents. A woven leather belt over a cream linen dress creates summery elegance. A suede belt over a charcoal cashmere cardigan adds autumnal richness. When texture does the talking, you don't need width or bright color. You simply need quality and intentional choice. This is how you build a belt collection that serves you for years, pieces with beautiful texture in timeless neutrals that work with everything. Sixth secret, know when not to belt. This might be the most important secret, understanding when an outfit is more elegant without a belt. Not every dress needs defining. Not every cardigan requires structure. Sometimes the most sophisticated choice is leaving flowing pieces exactly as they are undefined, graceful, easy. A beautiful midi dress in soft fabric often looks more elegant without a belt, creating one long sweep of color and drape. A long line cardigan over a simple tee and trousers frequently needs no belt, as the vertical lines are already elongating. The question to ask yourself: does this belt add to my outfit, or am I wearing it out of habit? If removing the belt makes you look taller, more graceful, more at ease, leave it off. But if the belt creates a focal point, adds polish, or breaks up too much monotony, keep it. This discernment is what separates confident dressing from rule following. You're not belting because someone told you to. You're choosing to belt when it serves your silhouette and your elegance. Seventh secret, the monochromatic belt secret. Here's a styling approach that creates sleek sophistication. Choose belts in the same color family as your outfit, creating tonal harmony rather than contrast. a cream belt over a cream dress, a charcoal belt over grey layers, a navy belt with navy trousers and a lighter blue top. When your belt lives in the same colour family, it creates subtle definition without breaking your vertical line. This is especially powerful for women over 50 who want polish without drawing attention to their midsection. The belt adds structure and visual interest, but it doesn't stop the eye with harsh contrast. Instead, it creates a gentle variation in tone that suggests sophistication. Try this: all cream outfit with a cream or camel belt worn loosely at your natural waist. You get the polished quality of being belted without any harsh lines cutting you horizontally. This is advanced understanding of how colour and proportion work together to create elegance. Eighth secret: statement buckles as jewellery. Here's a beautiful way to think about belts after 50. Treat them as jewellery for your waist rather than as functional closures. A belt with an interesting buckle, perhaps vintage-inspired brass and sculptural silver piece, or an elegant gold clasp, becomes a focal point, a conversation piece, an expression of personal style. But the key is wearing it with this jewellery mindset, one statement piece at a time. If your belt has a dramatic buckle, keep your necklace simple or skip it entirely. Let the belt be your statement accessory. This works beautifully over monochromatic outfits, where the buckle adds that single point of visual interest. A sculptural silver buckle over an all-black outfit creates modern elegance. A vintage brass buckle over cream layers adds warmth and personality. When you treat your statement belt as jewellery, you're not worried about whether it's defining your waist perfectly. You're simply adding a beautiful detail that expresses your sophisticated personal style. Belts after 50 aren't about creating a waist or defining curves your body no longer naturally holds. They're about adding polish, creating proportion, suggesting structure without demanding it. When you choose appropriate width, understand placement that serves elegance rather than convention, belt over layers instead of against your body, and know when not to belt at all. These accessories transform from sources of frustration into tools of sophisticated style. Because this is what confident dressing offers you: the understanding that nothing is mandatory, everything is optional, and the most elegant choice is always the one that serves your body and your spirit simultaneously. You don't need to belt every dress or define every silhouette. You simply need to understand when a beautiful belt adds to your elegance and have the wisdom to leave it off when it doesn't. And that wisdom? That's not something you could have learned at 30. It only comes with the grace and confidence of knowing exactly who you are now. If today's guide changed how you think about belts, if you're ready to wear them with intention rather than obligation, then join this community of women rediscovering timeless elegance. We're not following rules that don't serve us or trying to create silhouettes our bodies no longer hold naturally. We're learning what actually works for our age, our bodies, our beautiful lives. Subscribe to continue this journey together, because you deserve accessories that enhance rather than constrict. You deserve to understand when to add definition and when to embrace flow. And you deserve the kind of polished, sleek elegance that comes from knowing exactly when a statement belt elevates your outfit and when leaving it off is the most sophisticated choice of all.